Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be continuing what if Naruto had the powers of Eren from Attack on Titan. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Okay, so after the explosion, the surrounding shinobi, given the fact that there were a lot of them, decided that they were going to shield the populace by using the mud wall jutsu to block debris from hitting the civilians. And when Jiraiya and Naruto turn around to see who actually decided that they were going to blow up part of the arena, they look to see it's a whole bunch of stone shinobi, and Naruto remembers what they did to their stone shinobi, and that would also explain, as Jiraiya is now thinking about it too, that would explain why they didn't have anybody in the Chunin exams. So after everybody has been swiftly exited, everybody, either if they're not a shinobi, is being moved out the building, and the shinobi that are fighting, there are some shinobi holding the stone shinobi off to let the other village leaders escape and jump. So Jiraiya tells Naruto that he should probably stay here and try to protect some people as Naruto transforms into his Titan form. And when he transforms, all the stone shinobi stop and just start gunning straight for Naruto. They didn't want to fight nobody else but Naruto. And an Anbu member, late to the party, he tells the Hokage that the reason why the stone shinobi are here is to incapacitate and take Naruto. So when Jiraiya gets to Hiruzen tells Jiraiya to go right back to Naruto, and he should probably take Itachi with him. And when they get back to where Naruto was supposed to be, they see a whole bunch of people torn up and stuff like that. Basically signs of Naruto has been fighting here. And they follow the steps, Naruto's prints that he leaves, and the trail of either dead stone shinobi or knocked out or just writhing in agony, whichever one you prefer. Trail of shinobi, they follow this to find Naruto, with some cuts, some bruises and stabs and junk. But one of the shinobi, before Jiraiya and Itachi could do anything, jumps onto Naruto's back with a giant type of syringe type deal, and he stabs it into Naruto's back. Now, this goes through the Titan's body and into Naruto's body itself. So he extracts some blood from Naruto and jumps out the way, because he was one of the stone Anbu members. And he starts heading back toward his village. And when Jiraiya and Itachi get there, they notice that Naruto's got this giant, somewhat medium-sized hole in his back, and he's not very responsive. So they cut Naruto out of the Titan form and put him on Jiraiya's back, as Itachi's trying to keep Naruto's vitals stable, because due to that needle and how big it was and how much the blood that they took, Naruto is kind of dancing on the brink of death here. And Naruto, throughout this entire time, is once again seeing nothing but flashes of a time that doesn't even look slightly close to what he's used to. He's seeing giant walls and these massive things similar to what he could turn into, but what he's seeing is several different perspectives on how people see them. Other people see them as monsters. Other people see them as just to have power. And, you know, just a lot of stuff like that. A lot of people just fear them. A lot of people just hate them for no reason. A lot of people are, you know, basically just describing the Attack on Titan world. That's what he's seeing. And like the people that had Titans perspectives. And yeah, so like a lot of the memories that he's seeing, only one name keeps popping up. This Eren guy, this Eren Yeager. Either he's been seeing this time through his eyes or seeing him through somebody else's. And like the last thing he remembers before waking up is seeing like this massive being, like this massive, somewhat Titan, towering over a whole bunch of like massive other Titans. So he wakes up in the hospital and he's greeted by Tsunade and I'm gonna say the third Hokage, and like he begins to ask Naruto like, what does your blood, like basically they were running tests to see what Naruto blood did, which why it took him so long to wake up. It took him like 2 weeks to wake up from the coma that they put him in to run experiments. So after they realized the potential of Naruto's blood, they did take small samples and put it throughout some shinobi and to see what it did. But when they transformed or even got a smidget, like some of them died right off bat. Others, when they transformed, either it was like one part of their body or they were really disfigured and couldn't move and they were unresponsive. And the ones that could were just cannibals. So like, yeah. So as like Naruto wakes up, they start asking Naruto like questions about, you know, and Naruto already kind of knowing, because he kind of got a summary of the entire Attack on Titan world, so he kind of already knows some of what Titans could do. So he kind of just tells them not to touch his blood, for like, just don't do that. That's something stupid unless you're planning on making that person just suffer for the rest of their lives. I just expect you not to do that. And Hiruzen takes this into account, and so does Danzo, as Danzo also got a small vial of Naruto's blood. And in the Stone Village, they're also running the same type of tests to see what's going on. But that's neither here or there, as Naruto goes back and starts thinking that he needs to have thicker armor because, well, if he has thicker armor, like things won't be able to penetrate him so easily like a needle or a sword or something like that. And as he's like thinking of this, he begins to remember that also in the Attack on Titan world, there's an armored version of a Titan as well as the female version, which is supposed to be more nimble than the version that he has. But he just, you know, gets the general idea of the version, his first form is the one that Eren uses, and the second one, which is the one that's super fast, is the female version. So he already knows what forms he has. So his next goal is to try to unlock the Armored Titan form if he can. So Naruto just trying to find something to see if, you know, he can ever like evolve faster. So he starts putting himself through reckless training, and he's jumping off of high things in his Titan forms. And one day he decides that he was going to like train with Jiraiya, and he told Jiraiya not to hold back. So in the midst of Jiraiya not holding back, he sprayed Naruto with toad oil and lit him on fire. And Naruto, like, not knowing how to respond to being torched, like literally, it was a difference with Itachi's stuff because Itachi didn't slather him in oil. So Naruto, like in his Titan form, he's kind of like running around, and he kind of like jumps out of the Titan form because it was burning. So as he jumps out, he jumps into another Titan, which was the faster one. But he's trying to just outmaneuver, you know, Jiraiya. And due to Jiraiya training more, due to Naruto's abilities, Jiraiya is keeping up with Naruto. And so is like everybody else. So like every adult in this series, after finding out what Naruto could do, has been issued to train by the third Hokage, Hiruzen. Hiruzen told them niggas to keep training because of what Naruto could do. He said he's not risking someone taking over the village, some 14-year-old kid taking over the village because he got daddy issues. I'm joking. Calm down. I know what happened to his dad. Damn. You know, some of y'all Naruto stands be bugging. Anyway, so like as they're fighting, Naruto gets pushed back into a corner once again, and this time Jiraiya was attacking him with, I'm gonna just say like his hair or whatever. Yeah, his hair, because that shit look cold. He was attacking him with his hair and turning it into spikes just enough to pierce Naruto's Titan skin. And as he was doing this, Naruto was just thinking of hardening. He has to harden in some way, type of form. And the crystal that he would normally be able to use on the Fast Titan formed on his arms, and it just got thicker and thicker until it hardened, making him into the Armored Titan, allowing him to close the distance on Jiraiya and not hit him, but his goal was to just get, like, to close the distance to Jiraiya. I cannot stress that enough. Because honestly, the way that I'm gonna set it up, Naruto's Armored Titan form is like physically one of his strongest forms due to, I'm gonna say, like the weight of the armor allows, like, you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. Anyway, so like, yeah, he closes the distance and he's able to grab Jiraiya, which ends the training session. And while Naruto's sitting in there, he's realizing, like, they're both realizing that the Titan form is slowly but surely gaining more muscle mass. And they're confused as to why. And Naruto begins to think about it, like, maybe this isn't what was supposed to happen, because when he transformed into all the other forms, he was already in his normal form. Like, he was in his child-based state. He wasn't already in another Titan form. So maybe this is just an like just a way to ease it out. So he tries to open his mouth to say this, but as he's trying to talk, he realizes that he can't open his mouth. And when he walks over to the lake and he sees like this little armor plated jaw thing over his mouth, and he's like, oh wait, I don't know how to so he's trying to get it to open, not realizing that it's shut. Like, Naruto's whole face in his armored form is just like one solid, and the only thing you can see really is his eyes. So it's like one solid sheet of stone, and like some serrations for the mouthpiece to open, and just like some holes where his face should be. So yeah, that's his Titan, Armored Titan form. That's the face of his Armored Titan. So like, yeah, Naruto, after a couple of minutes of trying to get it to open, he finally gets it to open, but when he opens it, a whole bunch of steam comes out and he's unable to speak in this form. So not really trying to, because he saw somebody else speak in the other, when he saw the visions, he saw someone else speak in the Titan form. So his next goal, he set a mission in his head to try to get the next like version of the Titan form, which would have been the one to speak, the Beast Titan. But he has a more solid thing in mind for that as he grins thinking about the Nine Tails. As he goes over to Jiraiya, he detransforms, like he gets out of his Titan body to go talk to Jiraiya about the Beast Titan form. And Jiraiya kind of gets a little paranoid after Naruto tells him why he told them not to use his blood for that type of stuff no more. And Jiraiya, like you could use these guys as sleeper agents, yo. And Naruto was like, yeah, I can, or I can't. And Jiraiya was like, what do you mean by that? And Naruto tells him that the person that was using the ability didn't have all of the abilities. He only had the Beast Titan for as much as he saw. He only had the Beast Titan, and Naruto has all of the Titans, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. So he might not have the abilities that he has, or he could have them up to a certain extent. So Jiraiya not really trying to understand, and neither is Naruto at that point, because he kind of forgot what the hell he was talking about. They just kind of shrug it off and go back to training. And an Anbu member was listening, an Anbu Black Ops member was listening intensely. And when he sensed Itachi coming, he instantly vanished. Like the Anbu and Itachi, it's running fade every time, but them niggas be so quiet, you don't never hear them run their fade. Like I'm so serious. I'm a do it in one part, and y'all gonna be so blue in the face when it happens, cause ain't nobody gonna know they fighting but us. It's gonna be so funny. Anyway, so the Anbu Black Ops member dip out, and Itachi, sensing the Anbu member like leave the area, he knows that there's something going on. Now he knows that Danzo has an interest in Naruto. So he goes to meets up with Jiraiya, and he like tells Jiraiya what he just figured out. And Jiraiya, knowing that this could be potentially bad, he begins to like start to think of ways to try to get rid of Danzo, or to make him lose interest in Naruto, as Naruto begin to tell Itachi what he knows, or what he could think, like what he thinks about this Beast Titan form and how he would be able to talk out of it. And Itachi, as him and Itachi are talking about this, a massive group of Hidden Leaf Shinobi just like come up out the trees, and this kind of like sets Jiraiya off after realizing, like, first off, how are they all there? So like they run over there and they start telling, like Jiraiya walks over there and he asks them why they're here, and the leader of this massive squad of shinobi was Kakashi and Guy. And when they turn back around, when Jiraiya turns back around, Naruto is in his armored Titan form, and when Itachi just looks slightly ahead of him, there's like just this massive army of stone shinobi. And this is where I'll be ending this part off. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi. Peace.